All right, and we are live with another TNA Impact review from August 14th, 2014. Um, the last TNA on Thursday nights. I'm here, Tony, with my co-host Dave, the Bizarre One, as always. How are you doing?
Good.
And before we jump into this Impact review, yes, the title says that TNA is going to be moving to Wednesday nights. And that is for sure a fact. They are moving next week to Wednesday nights. Kind of an out of the blue decision. It just came out today before Impact came on the air, and they have decided to went to Wednesdays at the same time slot. And this, I think, in my opinion, is a pretty much, they're afraid of what may happen when football starts next month, and also the possibility of maybe SmackDown moving to Thursday nights as well. They would absolutely get destroyed, in my opinion, ratings-wise. But what are your thoughts on this move to Wednesday nights?
I wonder if it's TNA or is it Spike TV? You know, is it Spike TV wanting to move them to Wednesdays? Because it seems like it was switched like within like since last week, because there was a lot of rumors going around last week at TNA taping that everyone in TNA was all nervous that SmackDown would be coming to Thursdays. So, I mean, we'll see if that had anything to do with it, which assumingly it did. And the rumors are getting more and more rampant with SmackDown going to Thursdays, so which that would mean 4 straight days in a row of wrestling.
Yep, and then have the weekends off, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like, wow, that's a lot. But I mean,
okay.
I was just saying, do I like it? I mean, maybe it would work for them if they do get a new contract deal with Spike TV. We'll see in the fall. If that happens, that would be great. But, I mean, if it's just for short term, I mean, unless they get a new deal done, I mean, it really doesn't matter at all, honestly. It's only going to be for a month if it happens. So, I mean, now, there is rumors going around. We're going to make this all about news breaking day, but it's not Sunday, but that Spike TV management or whatever were backstage at a taping talking to wrestlers and other people there, I heard. So how true that is, I don't know. It's just rumors. Like dirt sheets or crap.
Yeah, but this is definitely, I think maybe Spike maybe wanted to move them on Wednesdays, maybe just to see how they do in the ratings, because Thursday nights starting in the fall are going to be very, very heavy on TV shows and football and everything like that.
Yeah, but if they don't get a new deal, I mean, it doesn't matter. They're done September 25th, you know?
Yeah, but if
it's really a mute.
I think if Spike sees that they're doing good on Wednesday nights, maybe they'll keep them.
Yeah, I mean, well, to me it makes unless they announce a deal within the next few weeks saying that they have re-signed TNA, I mean, it's not really going to matter if SmackDown goes to Thursdays or not, because there's not going to be TNA on a Wednesday anyway, so it won't really matter unless they sign a new deal where they're going to be on Wednesday nights every night for this day forward. So yeah. It's only until September. If they don't re-sign, it's only for 4 weeks or 6 weeks.
Yeah, but we'll touch more on this on our Wrestling Talk Sunday episode. We don't want to get in too much into this, but we will definitely touch more on this on Sunday. But let's pretty much get into the Impact review. It opened up with Bully Ray thanking the crowd for supporting his quest to put Dixie through a table. Ray welcomed out Brother Devon. He also, Devon said it feels good that Dixie Carter is gone. And then we were interrupted by the Hardy Boys. They came out and followed by Jeff Hardy, yada, yada, yada. They were kind of reminisced on the old matches that they had in the WWE. I'm not too sure if that's smart, because all you got to do is go back on the network. So they're pretty much advertising the network pretty much for WWE. Reminiscing their matches that they had, WrestleMania 17, so on and so forth. And then they pretty much wanted, who did the Hardys challenge them? I can't remember.
It kind of made the crowd challenge though, because they kept chanting one more match, and then Bully and Hardys, and then Jeff even said I didn't paint my face for nothing, so then it basically became a match.
Yeah, so that was announced at the beginning of the show that it would be the Hardys versus the Dudleys, and this was actually going to be the main event, which I thought was a great idea, and it should be the main event for first off. And the second off, it's a great idea to keep it to the end of the show to keep people tuned in. I think
Yeah.
last week when they had the Hardys versus the Wolves start off the show, I think that was kind of a mistake. But seeing
No,
what happened at the end of the show, I mean, it made sense.
I actually enjoyed that starting off the show at that time because I think there was a world title match that night too.
Yeah, I mean, it made, I guess, yeah, if you want to fit it in that way, yeah, I guess it made sense to have them start off the show because you did have a heavyweight championship. Then you had, Dixie going through a table, but, we all had our feelings on how that ended and how that show went. So it's on to the new show. So, yeah, we pretty much got announced the Dudleys versus the Hardys for the main event. Also, after that, we got a nice little video package from Samoa Joe. It's kind of weird seeing that little belt on him because he's so big, but I think
Yeah, they
in
need
the
to shake.
long run, it's going to make sense for him holding that title. Let's see. Oh,
Up against Low Key again, or anybody in that match. It should have been all those guys or Samoa Joe next week. I mean, because Joe's gonna kill any of them, so it doesn't matter.
yeah. They said backstage we had Eric Young and Bobby Roode soak up the bully putting through Dixie through a table by watching the footage on their phones. And as TNA continues to try to make it seem normal or acceptable that bully put Dixie through a table last week, Austin Aries walked in to join in the discussion, then transitioned to vowing to take out more pieces of trash in the form of MVP, Bobby Lashley, and Kenny King. And I saw a tweet today that I thought that I had to give TNA credit, and that they are making Bobby Lashley a credible champion. And I'll give them credit on that. Bobby Lashley has done really good in TNA, but we've already bragged about that in a couple of videos ago. Then we got to our X Division Scramble match, which was, who was in this match? Tigre Ono, Zima Ion, Low Key, Hernandez, and Homicide. Homicide? No, not
Homicide.
Homicide. And what's the other guy's name? Yeah, that's it, right? Yeah.
Oh, and
Manic.
Manic, whatever his name is, yeah.
This match to me seemed predictable.
Yeah, it was good.
I mean, it was good but predictable. You knew Low Key was gonna win. It wasn't gonna be any of those other guys.
And Homicide win to take on Joe. Honestly, I would not have minded that match at all.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree with you on that. But here's my thing. I don't really care for TNA bringing in these people and then having them automatically get title shots because we know Low Key is only there for a certain amount of time. We know he's not going to win that belt. That's what I don't like. That's what I don't care for. But, other than that, I'm really looking forward to the match.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a good match. Hopefully it is in TNA, so we'll see. So next week we're getting what, 3 title or just 2 title matches next week then I believe? Or is there a world title match next week? I thought it was. No, it's not. Never mind. I was thinking there was a world title match next week.
They did announce that Hardcore Justice will be next week, and that is
another gimmick.
More hardcore matches, man. I mean, seriously, you might as well just call TNA ECW for now. It's like that's all they're having lately.
Yep. I think that is going to have a lot to do with it being on Wednesday next week, which they knew that's what it was already going to be. But where they can maybe draw in that little, and they also announced 6 Sides of Steel will be returning next week, so that would be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, I still don't care for the 6-sided ring. I
don't mind. Yeah, I don't either. I'm saying the 6 Sides of Steel, I like that. I mean, that's one cool thing about it, the 6-sided ring.
The 6-sided ring or the 6-sided cage match is interesting. because you can
Yes.
probably do more dynamics with that one, more spots. But I don't. It's a smaller ring, and it's more easier for those guys that are in the match to get hurt, in my opinion. And you add a cage, that's just gonna be even worse.
Octagon,
And
basically. You know, it's basically like the octagon with a cage, a bigger cage.
yeah, but they're not throwing each other off the turnbuckles and jumping off the top rope and stuff like that. But I mean, granted, the six-sided cage matches have brought some good matches, so I'll give them credit with that. Let's continue on with the TNA results. There's a lot of talking tonight. I mean, after that, I think we had the Ethan Carter Rockstar Spud come out. Pretty much, talk of how Dixie Carter went to the table and how it wasn't justified and that, there's so many people to blame and stuff like that.
Thing, yeah, basically what it was.
And then end up Kurt Angle coming out and telling them that they're going to be in a match tonight, and they said that they weren't going to be because they're obviously too hurt to wrestle, and pretty much brought in the cops. I'm not going to say that TNA copied WWE because they did these tapings a while ago, so
Yeah.
there's no way they knew cops were going to come and get involved with the storylines in the WWE, but the cops end up coming out. The only thing I didn't like, because it just looked so fake, is them throwing shit at the cops and them pushing the cops, because no way in hell can you do that. Even you know that. Watching...
Well, yeah, that's why they got arrested, too.
Yeah, but if you did that in real life, you would absolutely, positively go to jail for sure. Like, putting your hands on a cop...
Well, we know they weren't real cops. Honestly,
Yeah,
they look.
You want to make it more as realistic as you can, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean they're not real. Yeah, we knew they weren't real cops. It was just the whole.
It's a whole. Yes, it's a storyline, but if we're gonna critique WWE, we're gonna critique the TNA the same way. And if how they made or they tried the best with the Stephanie and Brie Bella getting arrested. Just tonight with them throwing cash in their faces and then pushing the cops, that's just dumb, in my opinion. But Ethan Carter shines again. That man is one of the reasons why I probably stay and watch TNA. Because, man, he's fantastic, man. He is great. And I know you're really high on him as well.
Yeah, I loved him when he was in the WWE as Derek Bateman. I thought he was hilarious on NXT. I mean, I really enjoyed him. And then it was like, yeah, I mean, just luck that he got released and he went to TNA just by luck. And I said this on Twitter a little bit. For him to be given the Ethan Carter III character, he could have sank and failed miserably at that character because that was a really almost a detrimental character to a guy's career. It could have really been bad for his career, but he turned it and made it his own. And I mean, he made the character even better than I thought it was going to be.
I agree. I thought when they first did the little promos packages for him before he actually debuted, we already knew who it was going to be because, the rumors and the spoilers and yada yada on the internet. You knew who it was going to be, but you didn't know how the gimmick or how he was going to portray him. And
yeah, we didn't think it was going to be Ethan Carter either.
Yeah, and like you said, he's done a fantastic job with what he's been given. He hasn't been overly pushed to where he's been given title matches and yada yada yada. He's just been that middleman for Dixie Carter, who is the lovable nephew who defends his aunt, and he runs with it greatly. And I give him huge props with that. And definitely, like we said before, WWE has dropped the ball with him.
I mean, he has great charisma in the ring, do great on the mic, and he has good matches. If he was still in the WWE, he'd probably be his top star right now.
Yeah, I mean, well, the WWE, you know how they are with the guys. And, I mean, I would love to say he would be a top star, but, we don't know that for sure. but he would definitely be.
Have the potential to be a top star if he was still there, because he can do everything they want right now, and which is a lot of guys. Like, he can talk. You could
And
either
that's what
say, I don't know.
and
It's hard. It is hard to say, but in TNA he was given a fair opportunity to shine. In WE he was going to be on NXT. Maybe he would get a chance. Maybe not. It just all depends on the character.
NXT, to be honest with you, would be perfect for him, and not because he wouldn't, maybe they can build him up to go into the WWE, like, bring him up, but NXT would be perfect for him, I think, because he would be with a lot of great wrestlers that are already in the company. I think that would be great, but if TNA somehow go down the hill, which I mean, I don't want them to lose their TV deal or anything like that or go out of business, but if somehow it happens, I really hope WWE goes out. And then I know they're not high on signing TNA guys, but I really hope they may, double check on Ethan Carter.
Yeah, because he would be great back there again. I mean, it depends. Like, they let some great talent go and not even bring him back at all. I mean, Carlito was another guy I really loved in the W, and they just let him go. And John Morrison was another one, and it was like, wow, two guys they could really use in the WWE right now, but they went a different direction. So, I mean, it is what it is right now. But, I mean, Ethan Carter would be another. There's a bunch of great guys in TNA that I think if they were going to sign, there would be other guys over Ethan Carter that they would sign that are in TNA before they would sign him.
Yeah, definitely. But, yeah, they end up getting arrested and taken to the, taken outside and taken to jail, kayfabe. So, anyways. Backstage, we had Samuel Shaw apologizing to Gunner for driving a wedge between him and Mr. Anderson. Oh my goodness. Next, we had Gunner versus Mr. Anderson. And this match, I wanted to turn the channel because I do not care for any of these two guys. And I'm already done with Mr. Anderson. You've known that for months. I do not care for the guy no more. But it was a match, and ended up in a DQ because Samuel Shaw gets involved, starts beating down Mr. Anderson. Any thoughts on this match, Dave?
It seems like it's building toward a Anderson-Shaw team-up. That's what it seems like to me. Just because it seems like that they're going to end up having Shaw turn on Gunner, the guy who's been there for him the whole time.
And to me, Mr. Anderson looks a little out of weight. I mean, he looks overweight to me. Like he hasn't been hitting the gym lately.
Well, look at Abyss. I mean, Abyss ain't no slim pickings either.
Oh, but he's a big monster, though. But Mr. Anderson looks out of shape to me. But,
I mean, granted, I gotta admit, when Matt Hardy first came to TNA back 4 years ago, he looked out of shape. He looks in great shape now. Matt Hardy does.
Yeah, maybe Mr. Anderson needs to be doing some of that DDP yoga. That might help him out a little bit. After that, we had a backstage segment with Velvet Sky and Angelina. We get a little tension between the two. Velvet says one of them will lead with the strap, and Angelina wants to win the title, and Velvet wants to win the title, and Angelina believes that she should have the championship. So it's just, I think it's going to end up with them two end up beating each other up.
Again?
Yeah.
Like 5-6 years ago when they split up before. It's like, oh, really?
Something we've seen again that in TNA is bringing back, and then going to do it again. So, which then led to the match between Gail Kim, Velvet Sky, Angelina Love, and Taryn Terrell. I had to miss this match because I had to run to the grocery store. But Dave, can you just sum it up in this match? How did you?
Not much. I mean, it wasn't that good of a match. It didn't last. I think it started at like this up here in Michigan. It started like at, I want to say 9:57 and ended by like 9:02 or 10:02. I was like, it went quick. Next time I check Twitter, look up, and then defeat match over. I was like, oh, that was fast.
Yeah.
But then they also had the 6-man tag too, which I forgot completely all about it. They didn't promote that match at all. I forgot about it.
I did too. You would think with such huge guys in the match, they would have been promoting it all during the show, and I don't think they did it. I don't think they promoted it at all.
They said 2 tag matches to come. I was like, really? I was like, oh, I forgot all. I would no clue that match was gonna happen, and I forgot all about it.
And speaking of the 6-man tag, that's what we had next. We saw MVP Kenny King in the back. They said Dixie's misfortune has no bearing on their work in TNA as Lashley stands there quiet like Brock Lesnar. Kind of reminds me of Brock Lesnar. The trio walks off and they go to the ring, which then led to our 6-man tag match between Eric Young, Bobby Roode, and Austin Aries versus MVP Kenny King and Bobby Lashley.
See, this is what he should be doing with Roman Reigns, honestly. Have him either be with somebody and not talk and just fight. That's what he should be doing, honestly.
Or if he's going to talk, say like a minimal of 10 words.
I don't think Bobby Lashley said anything tonight.
Yeah, and I think like I said, Lashley is TNA's Brock Lesnar. You have the mouthpiece and MVP and Kenny King, like they do with Paul Heyman, and you just have Lashley just stand there and quiet and just wrestles when he has to wrestle and beat people up.
Yeah, and it works.
Yeah, I mean that's the perfect gimmick for Lashley. You know, when he was in the WWE, he was, that wasn't his gimmick. He should have been like the Brock Lesnar. Just quiet and whatever have you. But right now, I mean, I like Bobby Lashley as a champion. I have no complaints with him holding that title.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. An MVP for him to continually going out there and wrestle with injured, I mean, that's like, wow. Yes, he doesn't wrestle long, but he's still out there doing stuff. I mean, it's crazy.
To get to the end of the match, Lashley pins Aries for the win because the MVP gets involved by hitting Double A with one of his crutches. Then Lashley capitalizes and beats him. This was an alright match. I mean, it was your basic 6-man tag, chaos at the end, someone cheats, and then the bad guys win. So, to me, it's looking like maybe a possible MVP Aries match somewhere down the line. I don't know. I haven't really looked at the spoilers or anything. I could be wrong.
I think it'll take a while because MVP doesn't seem like he's fully healed.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I know he hurt. I know he didn't need surgery. I think he just needs healing time. I mean, but hey, kudos. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, but I mean, kudos to MVP for wrestling while being hurt. I mean, that knee injury that he has is no joke, and he's going in there wrestling like like he doesn't have an injury. So I give him credit with that. I mean, it was your basic 6-man tag match, and Lashley MVP and Kenny King get the victory. After that, the Wolves tell the camera that they have mad respect for the other teams in TNA and that they would like to let 3D know that they're welcome to a shot at the title belts. Abyss makes his way to the ring next, and he calls out Bram. He says he's mad that Bram keeps Janice after their Monsters Ball match. Magnus accompanies Bram to the ring, and Bram taunts Abyss with Janice. Abyss proposes a extreme, ultra-violent Stairway to Janice match to settle the score, and that'll be next week at Hardcore Justice. Magnus teases Abyss just one more time, and it's all Abyss can take. He cracks the loudmouth Limey in the crowd, and then belts Bram. Strangely enough, I don't get this. Like, you're gonna have a match for a weapon.
Well, Triple H and Nash did this a year or two ago too, with the sledgehammer hanging on the ladder from you get a ladder match.
Nah, I just don't care for those type of matches, though.
I don't know, make more sense with something else. But yeah, you know what? It's gonna see a lot of. I'm sure they are gonna go extreme, like Abyss said, and it'll probably be a really.
Yeah, it's gonna be a brutal match. I can give you that. And
Magnus like this, so yeah, I really do enjoy Magnus, even though he's not really wrestling. But I enjoy his little character like this. This seems to be he's entertaining like this.
Better as a heel, and he has a totally different gimmick or personality.
And not Carter though, no, not that type. But this guy right here, I like this guy.
Yeah, I like the way that they're portraying Magnus. I mean, not a big Bram guy yet, but I mean, I got to give him credit. He's putting some good matches with Abyss, so I can't really dog him for
Not bad
that.
on Mike
But,
either.
no, he's not better than Mike. You're right.
He
So,
reminds me of Gunner though, so it's like I thought that was who it was at first when I first seen and started watching it again.
oh yeah, but he's way better than Gunner, that's for sure. But let's get to this main event of the evening, which was the Hardys versus the Dudleys in a regular style match, no gimmicks involved, and I must say this is a really good match.
No gimmicks needed.
Yeah, this match was not, you don't need tables, ladders, or chairs uh, to have a good match all the time, and this match was spectacular. You had a couple of high-flying spots, of course, with the Hardys doing them. You're going to expect that, but this match was really good. This match
Yeah,
brought me back
spots
to
like that all the time.
the old WWE, WWF days. I really enjoyed that. Um, yeah. What are your thoughts on this match, Dave?
Really enjoyable. I mean, I really enjoyed this match. I mean, the spot we talked about before we went on air with Jeff Hardy clearing the ropes, which I haven't seen him do stuff like that since, like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, and the moves they were hitting, that whisper in the wind that Jeff hit was really awkward, but man.
Yeah, he didn't really connect with it. I mean, he connected with it, but then fell on Devon. So it was like a double move. It was like a double move or some shit. It looked.
Like,
He didn't do it on purpose, but it looked cool. That's for sure.
yeah, I mean, man, I was really hoping that I was marking out a little bit when I seen them do the twist of fate into the Swanton bomb. That was freaking awesome. Hoping they're gonna win right there.
Yeah, and the Dudleys end up picking up the win. I'm hearing that this series between these two guys, or it's going to be like a best of three. I'm hearing, so that should be interesting. So I'm going to assume we see.
One will have to end up being in some type of stipulation matches.
Yeah, this will definitely be a nice little series of matches between the two tag teams, and I'm believing next week we're going to see the triple threat ladder match between the Wolves, Dudleys, and the Hardys. I don't think they announced it for sure, but
I would think they would announce that if that was going to happen next week.
True. But I believe I know it's coming. I know they've had the match, so I know it's going to be on one of these tapings. So we just got.
I assume the 6 sides of steel match they're having is, I think they said it's going to be something to do with the the TNA World Title. So either it's going to be a #1 contenders match in a steel cage, I believe. I think that's what they're.
I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's the #1 contenders match for the TNA title and the 6 sides of steel match, whatever you want to call it. But all in all, to me, TNA tonight wasn't as good as it was last week. That's for sure. The main event.
Well, I mean, Destination X.
Yeah, I mean that's true. And then you had Dixie go through a table and all this stuff. And then this was kind of. I think this was.
You got one match in 2 hours, which isn't bad. I mean, sometimes you don't even get that with the WE in 3 hours. So, I mean, you got one good, but TNA is the big difference because they're living off of these spike shows. The ratings are the huge success for them, so they got to have good shows.
Yeah, and I don't really like that they keep catering to the New York crowd, calling them the best crowd in the world, and having all these hardcore matches every week. I get it. You're in New York, but it doesn't mean that you got to have every match with a hardcore. Like tonight, Impact, there was no hardcore matches, and it was not that bad. The only thing I didn't really care for were some of the matches on the card and on the show and the talking. They talked. I think in the first hour of the show there was maybe 10 minutes. So,
there was that one match that was with about the X Division, and then they went to the EC3, and then they talked until about 3 minutes to 10, I believe that went. Because they even did a Dixie Carter segment about backstage. They even read some Twitter stuff. They even put JR on there and stuff like that, talking about what he said about it last week. So yeah, they did some of the. We didn't really talk about that, but that's what the kind of stuff they did for that first hour is just talk and talk.
Yeah, I mean, granted, you have a main event that probably a lot of people want to see, but you can't do that the first hour of the show. You could have had it action-packed and then had talking in the second hour that led into the main event match where you can't really complain very much because you got a great match at the end of Impact. But, I mean, I guess I get it. You know, Impact wasn't as good as it was last week, and I'm pretty sure next week's will be better.
Yeah.
And
I mean, were they going to do these every 2 weeks now? These little pay-per-view on Impact? So these, like, every 2-week events now? Because, like, just last week, or 2 weeks ago, they had Destination X. And then now, next Wednesday, and I'll give Spike TV credit, they were promoting Impact moving to Wednesday, so I'll give them credit. But that was only during Impact, so we'll see. But, I mean, they were promoted over the weekend and next week, it'll work for them. So we'll see.
yeah, it all depends. You know, the TNA original fans will check it out for sure. But, you know, people may forget that it's on Wednesday, so they better promote the shit out of it during the week.
To really step it up and promote like crazy.
Yeah, because some people may, oh yeah, that's right, they moved. I mean, it's not like they announced it 3 weeks ahead of time. They announced it a week ahead of time.
If they just decided this, I assume today. Honestly, they had to today or late last night, because they didn't even go back and dub over the announcing or voice it over and start talking about we're moving to Impact next Wednesday. They were just playing it like it was next Thursday, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't even have. This must have been last-minute changes. It had to be because, like, the final hour decided to change it to Wednesdays, because they should have, like, I've seen you even talk about it on Twitter, they should have set a date and then promoted the hell out of it, but no, they did it last minute, and I don't know. It's kind of
They should have promoted the hell out of this change because, you know, as much as I hate what the WWE is doing with the $9.99 deal, you know, it's making sense because people won't forget that it's $9.99. But, you know, with this, it's out of nowhere. Oh, we're moving to Wednesdays next week at, what, 4 hours?
You know, the first week of September, they could have done that.
Yeah, and 4 hours before TNA started, they announced it. Why? You know, like you said, they could have said at the beginning of September, we're moving to Wednesdays, which makes sense because on Wednesdays, you know, we're going to have football and, you know, all that stuff. So it would have made sense. But,
I mean, yes.
you know, you and I will be watching. You know, hopefully everybody will remember to check it out on Wednesdays. So, like I said,
Everyone who watches wrestling has Twitter, and they follow it constantly, you know, so... Yeah, you might not know. You wouldn't know it if you... They did a few video promos during Impact, but not like they should have, I don't think.
Yeah. So hopefully, you know, Spike better promote it during the day. You know, all week they should promote it during different shows.
They show this weekend should be Impact moving to freaking...
Honestly, they should, like how they had it at the bottom of the screen, Impact moving to Wednesdays next weekend, or next week. They should have that all week long in the corner.
Should do, honestly, every movie, every show they show on a show, Impact moving to Wednesdays, just do a little ad, little 5-second ad, every commercial break, because you're moving it, like, within, like, a few days. 6 days is going to be on Wednesday. It could screw a lot of people up. We'll see. I guess they're hoping for big numbers just because of the whole football and SmackDown thing, and nothing's really competing with them on a Wednesday, really, besides maybe some Wednesday baseball once in a while. I mean, but other than that, that's the only thing you're competing with right now.
Yeah. So it could be a smart move. It could be a bad move. I guess the only time will tell. But that's pretty much going to wrap up our TNA Impact review, because this Sunday we'll be back again with our wrestling talk. I'm sorry?
3 days.
Yes, with our Wrestling Talk Sunday episode number 5, where we'll touch in more on the TNA moving to Wednesdays, a couple of WWE signings over the week, and I'm not sorry, couple, but one pretty huge signing over the week, and also SummerSlam predictions and any other type of news going on TNA or WWE throughout the week.
Mostly it'll be about SummerSlam, so it's
I
not
would
going to be hugely on TNA. We might touch a little bit, but it's going to be SummerSlam predictions. The pay-per-view is Sunday night, so and we'll
yes,
be right back
all you,
Wednesday. So Hardcore Wednesday hashtag.
yeah, so all you TNA guys that watch our videos, this Sunday, if you guys
Thank you so much.
don't have to check us out this Sunday because we may touch on the TNA moving to Wednesdays just to get it out of the way, but it will be heavily WWE based. So just to let you guys know. Also, like Dave said, thank you very much for checking out our video last week. We almost hit the 200 view mark with that TNA video. We did not expect that at all. So we really appreciate everybody checking out our video last week.
Yes, our last few weeks have been 100+ views each week, so that's been awesome.
Yeah, so definitely we got a huge TNA following in our community, so we really do appreciate every TNA fan that watches our video, even if we bash it or praise it. You guys still watch it, so we really do appreciate it. Since we've came back, like I said last week, our TNA videos have been a success, so we are not going to stop anytime soon. So,
hey, please get a deal done with Spike TV. You want to keep doing this.
yeah, so with that, we will be back on Sunday, probably I would say between 2 or 3 Eastern. We will be definitely doing it before the pay-per-view, obviously. So we will let you know ahead of time. Maybe follow us on Twitter, hint, hint, and we will give you more information on what time we will be doing our video. But, yeah, any last words?
Subscribe.
I'm sorry, Dave?
I'm saying subscribe to this channel.
Yes, we had a couple of subscribers over the past week. I'm going to assume that they were from the TNA community watching our videos, so we do appreciate it. If you want to check out our Raw reviews, you're more than welcome to, even if you don't really care for Raw or WWE. So we do appreciate you guys watching our videos. We may more cater to the TNA fans on our channel, and that's just because it's an obvious fact that they watch our videos more. So that's why we praise them. But we will be back on Sunday. Any last words before we end, Dave?
No, I mean, thanks. Hey, if you guys only watch TNA videos, we do Raw videos and Sunday videos. Check those videos out too. I mean, every Monday and every Sunday afternoon. I mean, you can follow us on Twitter at HomieTheClown24 or at Bizarre1000, or even on our show, our podcast name channel, or whatever you want to call this, Tony Josh / Bizarre1.
Yeah, so, yes, check us out wherever you can, or just, tune in every Wednesdays now for a TNA Impact review. So with that, we're going to end the show. We'll be back Sunday afternoon with our predictions and some more wrestling talk. And, yeah, we're going to end it there. Thank you guys for watching, and hope everybody has a great night. Thank you.